How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout. I'm your host, FaZe Crypto, and today I would like to discuss HoloChain, and of course, I would like to discuss where we will be seeing Bitcoin going, especially now when we've reached this 7,746, and posing the question, will we break that $8,000 physical barrier, the psychological, and of course, getting across that bridge will mean that we could start actually physically at the potential for Bitcoin to be worth $9,000, even $10,000. This article right here talks about HoloChain, however, and I really want to talk about HoloChain because I think more often than not in the cryptocurrency space, we see people getting wrapped up and associating cryptocurrency with just blockchain. And I think that that's the wrong way to go. I think that it's important for us as content creators to educate the public for a wide variety of reasons, trying to look beyond blockchain and think outside the blocks. And HoloChain, I think, is really front and center when we talk about, utilizing this cutting edge technology in a way that, could ultimately surpass and surmount and build upon the foundation that was set forward by something like Bitcoin, but actually having that sort of forward thinking perspective is important for, I imagine, what will amount to be the philosophical impact of the cryptocurrency. Especially when we talk about the different challenges that Bitcoin faces, as it is an older, it's a 2008 technology. It was built with the internet as it stood in 2008. 2009, 2010. This is the paradigm, the 3-year cycle that you talk about, the 3-year cycle with the development and the evolution of the internet. Every 3 years, we're looking at a completely new internet. And I'd say HoloChain, looking into the internet of energy, facilitating distributed energy systems, the Internet of Things, all these other aspects of it, the Internet of Energy, very interesting, which is why I bring up this article. So HoloChain has been projected, perceived as a framework of value creation. Developers have spoken about the challenges they have endured and the wisdom they have gained in the process of building and testing the Holo Fuel. The quarantine has not prevented the HoloChain community from moving forward ahead and what they are venturing to do. The HoloChain community are arranging online meetup to connect with each other. HoloChain is regularly updating their community, thus sustaining the ecosystem of decentralized apps with distributed user-controlled storage, which is cheaper, faster, and better than blockchain. I think that should be highlighted because I think that will be important, especially while we look at the race that's sort of happening now for companies to adapt with blockchain, which I would imagine is only going to continue. And it's really a situation of adapt or die. If a company can't learn to use these different technologies and implement blockchain, then they're just going to get steamrolled over, just the same way that there were different companies that were lukewarm to join and actually apply the internet when it was first starting off. These countries aren't even, countries as well. Countries and corporations, all the same, in the same boat when it comes to using blockchain and, adapting. It's a total paradigm shift. And of course, it's sort of like the ones that will be actually fast. See the writing on the wall will be light years ahead of companies and corporations and any interest, any body, any collective organization of humans working with computers will get ran circles around. Just the same way we saw like the .com sort of thing. People who are late to the party tend to have to pay more. Blockchain, in this context, I would say is representative of what people would imagine to be sort of a forward thinking. But I think people who can be one step ahead of those who even think that they're one step ahead of the curve would be much better off. And I think HoloChain has this actually going for it. So when compared to other kinds of technologies, HoloChain can help validate energy production using lightweight, cutting-edge applications, as opposed to selling energy to energy companies. People will be able to sell energy to each other. Proof of concepts, on HoloChain is developed by several hardware and network providers. This is particularly successful in the area of green and renewable energy. especially when we see now people aren't even driving. People are, unless you're an essential worker, people are locked down at home. Things are going more green than ever, and it's going to pick up. So it is very interesting. We've got this right here. Renowned analyst believes Ripple has the potential to disrupt the global market of remittance, and but there's a caveat. So this article I think is interesting too. I don't actually talk about Ripple too much on here. I should. I get a lot of people who recommend that I should talk about Ripple more, but it's a commonly used refrain by the Ripple supporters. The blockchain-based payment firm will eventually replace, archaic systems like SWIFT for cross-border payments. This should ideally boost the use case of the world's third largest cryptocurrency, XRP. Analyst at Bloomberg, believes Ripple indeed has what it takes to disrupt the global cross-border payment market, but he wants to, invent the XRP. It is interesting. I mean, and of course develop upon the foundation that's already there. So, I mean, these are some very interesting sort of leading edge topics, I think, that are important to talk about. So, we've got the Bitcoin halving coming around the corner, and I think it's a total mess right now. I don't think people really know their ass from their elbow about what this is going to mean. This article goes on to say Bitcoin is notoriously volatile, prone to sudden price surges and swift reversals that can wipe out millions of dollars of value in a matter of minutes. Those changes are often mysterious to market observers, given the digital currency's lack of fundamentals or ties to the real economy. Bitcoin has another quirk, one that built into the code that gave it birth. Every so often, the formula that governs the rate at which new tokens are created changes. As another such event called halving approaches, Bitcoin supporters and skeptics are debating what kind of impact it may have on the coin's value. Where do baby Bitcoins come from anyway? One of the characteristics that give rise to fascination with Bitcoin is the way its creator Satoshi Nakamoto tied the creation of coins to the work needed to prevent counterfeiting. Bitcoin is generated by so-called miners whose computers perform complex calculations that validate the transaction on what's known as the blockchain. At public detail ledger, the miners compete with each other to earn newly issued tokens known as block rewards. Definitely interesting, and it'll be interesting to see, what is Bitcoin halving? Well, halving, sometimes referred to as a halvening, is a planned reduction in rewards miners receive. The term is mentioned in Bitcoin's code, having happen once every 4 years or so, more precisely every 210 blocks of transaction, as the name suggests. Each one cuts the amount of Bitcoins miners receive per block reward in half. At Bitcoin launch in 2009, miners received 50 Bitcoin per block, but the reward was reduced to 25. The first halving in 2012 to 12.5 in 2016, and will fall to 6.25 tokens in the next phase. So, it will be interesting to see how this does affect Bitcoin, and what's the point? I'm not going to read the entire article for you. If you can go read it for yourself. But now, in this context, I think it will be interesting. Just reading about blockchain, I've read over so much white paper of so many different cryptocurrencies. I'm starting to just see the writing on the wall for something like HoloChain, and what we could actually see happening in the future. And I'm very excited just to see just where the internet is going to go from here on out. More peer-to-peer, agent-centric. The more human internet, is more or less along the fundamentals of what I hope to see, in the impact of the cryptocurrency space. And hopefully, if you're watching this, you are in alignment with that sort of thinking. I know many of you are now. But anyway, remember, this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not your dad. Now, of course, remember to comment down below letting us know what you think. I'm always interested in hearing your opinions. As always, my name is Face Crypto. You've been watching Crypto Clout, and I'll see you guys in the video. For those of you who tune into the nightly live stream technical analysis, we will see you there. All that being said, have a good one.